Hey everybody, Tactard Ted, 26th of September 2022. So let's talk for a minute about the unintended consequences of the sanctions and the unintended consequences of provoking Russia. In case you don't know, in Italy over the weekend, it became known that a right of center coalition is now going to be running Italy. And the leaders of the EU are already screaming that they need to toe the line, they need to give up any foolish ideas that they have, and they better just knuckle under and do what the EU says. Isn't that really interesting that people of Italy all got together and said, hey, I think we've had enough of this shit. We want new leadership because we're not real happy. And as soon as they get new leadership, the EU says, don't you dare think about doing anything in your own best interest. Now, let's go back to one of my founding principles. I am a consistent secessionist. I believe in smaller government. I believe in a government that meets the needs of its people is best served localized, not centralized. And the EU is definitely a centralized government. And the fact that the EU and the way that things were being ran in Italy weren't meeting the needs of the Italian people led to an election that got rid of the last head of their government. Now it's been replaced with somebody who sees things differently. There's about to be a massive shift politically in Italy, and it's going to have reverberations to the EU. There's been the ousting of the leadership in Sweden. There's been the leadership in London. Boris Johnson gone. Unfortunately, he's been replaced with somebody basically not too far off from how he was. But I don't think that prime minister is going to see a year. And I think you're going to see France fall, and the Netherlands and several other states, and possibly even Germany. Why? Because the people are tired of electing people who won't look after their own best interest. When you've got leadership who are more interested in adventurism in the East than they are about making sure that you have energy and fuel, you got an issue. Jordan Peterson said it best this past week when he said, any notion that Putin's going to lose this war is pure fantasy. You cannot win a war over a person who you can't tell no to. And the EU virtue signaled itself into this corner. They made themselves totally dependent on Russia for fuel to virtue signal, to say that they were so morally superior that they were going for this green energy, which does not work, which is not realistic. And here we are at a point where Europe is going to freeze this winter. And for what? So you could virtue signal about how great environmentally you were, which is bullshit. And you're going to virtue signal that you really love Ukraine. You got to stand with the Ukro Nazis. You got to love their Nazis because their Nazis aren't really Nazis. How the same people who say communists aren't communist or socialist is not real socialism. Now, Nazis are not real Nazis. And that's just really sad, folks, that you're going to let all these things change your way of life, and you're not going to stand up to your government. Well, that's the problem. A lot of these places are standing up to their governments now. And Italy is moving. Sweden is moving. London continues to move and will move further. Like I said, I don't believe that their prime minister is going to last a year. I just don't see that happening. And I look for the EU to continue to fracture. I look for Serbia and Hungary to both flex their muscle. And I look for a lot of these supposed stalwart anti-Russian people to start modifying their behavior. Even Borrell now is talking about diplomacy. Just a few weeks ago, he was saying how Russia had to be crushed. The EU is getting ready to fracture, folks. And personally, I'm all about it. Anyhow, talk to y'all later. Bye.